Hey everyone, today's concept is one of the most asked interview questions, that is call, apply and bind. So let's start with our first question. Why do we even need this method? It's all about controlling what this refers to. In JavaScript, these depend on how a function is called, not where it's written. So sometimes we want to borrow a function from one object and use it for another. That's where call, apply and binds comes to rescue. So let's take examples, we'll have a better understanding. First let's create a function. We have created one function that called display dev data, and let's console.log. If you see here carefully, we have created one display dev data function where we want to print the name, role and country. So what we will do is, if we want to make this function as a dynamic and we have thousands of data, so let's create a two-person object. First one is person1, that will be name is build heaven dev, the role will be, and the same thing we will create another one that will be person2, and maybe the name is John and he is a backend developer. So now if you see here carefully, we have created one function and we have two person object. Basically we wanted to make this function as dynamic that it should take from our object as the name, and we can pass also customized value. So how we can do? Using call. Like call basically lets you call the function immediately while manually setting these points to. Like how we can do? Let's see. For an example, display dev dot call, we'll pass the person1 and we can like send like from where he is. We are from India. So if you run this one, you can see hey build heaven dev role frontend India. Now tomorrow if you wanted to do for the person2 also, maybe he is from UK or somewhere. If you see here, it was showing that he is from UK, and this is how like we can print thousands of data using this. We don't have to setting that this context manually. That is the advantage of this. Now we understood how call basically works and what is call. Second part is, let's come to apply. Apply basically it's work exactly same like call, but instead of passing the argument one by one, you can pass using array. Like for an example, here we are passing this one by one. So what we have to do, we have to create one array. So if tomorrow you wanted to print the pin, you can do here pin, and the same thing is goes to here also. If we wanted to do for the UK one, what we have to do, we have to do now for this one we will use apply, and this one we will see both are working same, only the way only one difference is how we can pass the argument. For the apply we have to pass the argument in an array format. Call we can pass one by one in a comma separated. And finally the most misunderstood, that is bind. Like bind doesn't call the function right away. Bind doesn't call the function immediately. It's return a new function and permanently attach these context. If we want to call it later, so we can call. Like how it was, let me show you. If we wanted to do the second one, const bound. Here the function was attached to here. Now we can call anytime, and it was like this context was attached. Let's call now and see. If you run this one, both will work as same as it is. So let's see a real use case for bind function. Here bind ensure that inside handle click these keyword point to the button element, not window or something randomly. That's why bind is heavily used for passing function as callback. Here we have attached one ID, and how we are doing, there is one event listener was there. We click that event listener, the handle click function there will be bind called, and the button this one will be attached. You run this one, you can see submit by click by submit button. So quick summary, let's recap. Call basically calls function right away, and arguments are passing individually one by one in a comma separated. And the apply calls right away, but arguments sent in a array format. And the bind wants the return a new function with locked this, so it can be called later anywhere anytime. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.